You're watching DX Recaps, the place where we break down movies fast, clear, and spoiler-packed. Whether you missed it, forgot it, or just want a quick refresh, we've got you covered. Let's get into the story. Hostel. Part 2 continues the horrific saga that began in the first film. If you haven't seen the first part, check the link in the description to catch up. It's essential for understanding the sequel. In Hostel. Part 1, we were introduced to a secretive organization that allows wealthy individuals to pay exorbitant sums for the chance to kill innocent victims in gruesome ways. Some participate out of twisted curiosity, while others have personal obsessions, like one man who aspired to be a surgeon but, after rejection, joins the group to live out his surgical fantasies by torturing victims. The sequel opens with Paxton, the lone survivor of the previous massacre, being rescued from a train in Italy. He's in a physically broken state and is quickly taken to a hospital. Italian law enforcement officials soon arrive, 2 detectives and a police officer, to question him. Paxton wastes no time recounting his horrifying ordeal. He tells them how he and his 2 friends were on a seemingly innocent backpacking trip across Europe. But their journey turned into a nightmare when they were taken from a hostel and delivered to a sinister facility. This underground operation caters to ultra-rich clients who pay to torture and murder tourists. He reveals that his 2 friends were brutally killed, and the entire operation is run by an elite hunting club. Each member bears a distinct bloodhound tattoo. The detectives respond with unease, noting that someone was recently found dead in a train station restroom, someone who had the same tattoo Paxton just described. They accuse Paxton of murdering the man, claiming security footage places him at the scene. In a sudden and sinister twist, one of the detectives reveals the same tattoo, exposing himself as a club member. He lunges at Paxton, seemingly killing him, but it turns out to be a nightmare. Paxton awakens with a jolt. Since his escape from Slovakia, he's been tormented by severe PTSD. To remain under the radar, Paxton hides out at his girlfriend's grandmother's house. However, when he finds out his girlfriend has told her sister where they're staying, he panics. He believes that any leak of information could bring the organization back to finish the job. The next morning, his girlfriend wakes up to discover Paxton has disappeared. Searching the house, she is horrified to find his decapitated corpse downstairs. In a separate location, a biker delivers a package to a man named Sasha, who appears pleased with the content. He's likely received Paxton's severed head. From here, the story shifts to 3 American art students, Beth, Whitney, and Lorna, studying in Rome. During one of their figure drawing classes, the students are sketching a nude model named Axel. After the session, Axel approaches Beth and compliments her work. She even offers to buy Beth a drink when Beth gives her one of her sketches. Beth politely declines, explaining they're catching a train to Prague. It's revealed that Beth is quite wealthy. Her late mother left her a large inheritance, so money isn't a concern for her. Alongside her friends, she boards the train bound for Prague. On board, Beth and Whitney head to the bar for drinks, while Lorna stays back in their cabin. The 2 women briefly cross paths with a suspicious man but brush him off. At the train's bar, they're surprised to bump into Axel again, who jokes that Beth inspired her journey. Meanwhile, something unsettling occurs back at their cabin. When the girls return, they discover that Lorna's iPod has gone missing. Axel arrives shortly after and claims she saw the shady man running from their room and retrieved the iPod. When it fell from his pocket, grateful, the group welcomes her and continues chatting. Axel tells them about a luxurious spa resort in Slovakia with natural hot springs. Lorna, the most naive of the group, is immediately enchanted. Axel's vivid description persuades the girls to change their travel plans and head to Slovakia instead of Prague. Upon arrival, Axel leads them to a familiar-looking hostel, the same one where Paxton and his friends were taken. The girls are checked in using their passports and offered rooms. They're also invited to a village harvest festival. Lorna is excited to attend, and though Whitney is initially hesitant, a handsome local man convinces her. Unbeknownst to them, the hostel receptionist scans their passports and uploads their profiles, complete with nationality and price tags, into a private bidding system for elite hunting club members. Not long after, the auction draws attention from wealthy clients. Across the globe, a man named Todd wins the bid and calls his friend Stuart to join him in Slovakia for the experience. As a twisted birthday gift, Todd tells Stuart he's bought him a girl to kill. Back in the village, The girls encounter a group of candy-loving but violent children from the first movie. When Lorna offers them sweets, one child spits on her and the rest run off. Meanwhile, Todd and Stuart arrive in Slovakia and prepare to join the club. They're taken to a tattoo artist for initiation. Todd eagerly receives the bloodhound mark, while Stuart hesitates. It becomes apparent that Stuart is reluctantly going along with Todd's pressure, but he's eventually forced to get the tattoo. That night, the girls attend the village harvest festival. Whitney pairs off with her new flame, and Beth keeps to herself. Todd and Stuart are also there, covertly watching the girls. Stuart, unable to resist, moves in closer to Beth. A local man tries to invite Beth to dance, but she politely declines. As he leaves, he cryptically says he could have helped her, something she doesn't quite understand. The hostel receptionist appears shortly after and tells Beth not to worry about the man anymore. She defends the stranger, saying he just asked to dance. The receptionist then offers her a drink, but Beth, cautious, pretends to accept it and discards it once he's gone. The drink ends up hitting Stuart, who happens to be nearby. Beth apologizes and offers to replace it, sparking a brief conversation. Stuart introduces himself and wishes her a good time. When he calls her by name, Beth is taken aback. She never told him. Stuart explains that he overheard one of her friends mention it. Elsewhere, Lorna is swept away by a mysterious man who barely speaks English. Despite the language barrier, they hit it off and he invites her on a boat ride. Beth voices her concern and disapproves, but Lorna clearly intends to go, laughing off Beth's worry. Later, Beth sees Lorna sailing away with the man, who apologizes as they drift down the river. The two disappear downstream and pull ashore near an ominous location. As soon as Lorna finds herself alone with the man in a dim, isolated location, the situation takes a dark turn. Out of nowhere, men dressed in black ambush her. They attack her violently, eventually rendering her unconscious. Meanwhile, the party is reaching its peak. A drunken Whitney and her new companion are preparing to head out for the night. Beth, however, is uncomfortable with the situation and chooses to stay close to her friend, while Axel waits around for Lorna's return. The next morning, Todd and Stuart are seen discussing their motivations for taking part in the heinous activities. Surprisingly, their reasoning isn't rooted in some twisted desire for violence, at least not entirely. Todd believes the experience will earn them respect from other men, portraying them as powerful and intimidating. Still, Stuart is clearly starting to waver. Back at the spa, Beth and Whitney join Axel in a relaxing soak, but Lorna is conspicuously absent. Since she hasn't made contact, they optimistically assume she had an amazing night with the guy she left with. The scene then shifts, revealing a horrifying truth. Lorna is gagged and strung upside down by the man she thought she could trust. She now sees undeniable evidence of a larger, sinister operation, but it's already too late. She dangles over a bathtub in a dark room surrounded by lit candles. Her captor gives her one last kiss before exiting. Once the men leave and the lights dim, a woman silently enters the room. Dressed in a cloak, she slowly undresses and approaches the tub with a gleaming blade in hand. Without uttering a word, she slices off Lorna's gag. Despite Lorna's desperate pleas for mercy, the woman calmly begins cutting into her back, allowing the blood to flow freely. She bathes in the blood, relishing the grotesque ritual, and finally ends Lorna's life by slitting her throat. Back at the spa, Whitney clings to her new partner, while Beth relaxes in the warm, healing waters. Axel remains nearby, chatting with Beth, who eventually dozes off. When she later wakes up, the once busy spa is deserted. Whitney and everyone else have vanished. Beth starts searching frantically but finds no sign of her friend. Her worst fears are confirmed when the same men in black who abducted Lorna suddenly appear. Panicked, she runs, scaling a fence and fleeing into the forest. She spots a truck and flags it down, only to realize the driver is the same young man she had refused to dance with earlier. She begs him for help, but he's too afraid, still reeling from a savage beating he received just for approaching her. He leaves her behind. Still being pursued, Beth is cornered once more by the same group of boys who demand $1 from her. Before they can inflict any harm, Axel and Sasha appear out of nowhere. They intervene, rescuing her and helping her into their vehicle. Sasha, however, stays behind and coldly shoots one of the boys, displaying his brutal nature. The three of them arrive at Sasha's lavish estate, where he assures Beth that the authorities have been notified. Meanwhile, Whitney, who has also been captured, is led away with other detainees. An older makeup artist calmly prepares her for what's to come, assuring her she'll be made beautiful for a client. In a moment of defiance, Whitney bites the woman's nose and tries to escape, only to be recaptured by the facility's formidable security. Back at Sasha's mansion, Axel tends to Beth's injuries and even applies makeup to her face. While in the room, Beth notices a photo of Axel standing next to the man who had previously stolen Lorna's iPod on the train. The same photo also features Natalia and Svetlana, the women who had deceived and lured Paxton and his friends to their doom in the first film. After Axel leaves, Beth inspects the photo more closely. Her fears are confirmed when she sees the men in black entering the house. As she cautiously exits the room, Sasha and Axel greet her with friendly smiles, revealing their involvement in the whole scheme. Beth tries to escape and stumbles into a hidden chamber filled with severed heads, among them is Paxton's. Horrified, she freezes, allowing her pursuers to capture her. Meanwhile, Todd and Stuart are notified that their moment has arrived. They head to the ominous factory where the atrocities are carried out. Upon arrival, they're welcomed and suited up. An elevator takes them down to the designated rooms. Stuart appears visibly nervous as he enters the torture chamber, nearly as terrified as his bound victim. Todd, however, is paired with Whitney and gleefully begins tormenting her with a sharp saw. Stuart removes Beth's blindfold and, noticing her fear, promises to untie her gag if she stays calm. He begins confessing, claiming his wealthy friend Todd bought Beth for his birthday. He goes on to explain the operations of the elite hunting club, admitting he doesn't actually want to hurt her. Back in Todd's room, the situation quickly escalates. While mocking Whitney with the saw, he slips and slices off her face. The sight of her mutilation deeply unsettles him. Overcome with disgust, he decides he can't go through with it. However, one of the staff confronts him, reminding him that according to the rules, he cannot leave until he's taken a life. Todd insists on leaving, but as soon as he reaches the elevator and it opens, a pack of vicious dogs is unleashed on him. They maul him to death in seconds, punishment for breaking the rules. With Todd gone, the organization attempts to auction Whitney's remains at a discount, but none of the clients show interest since they're already preoccupied with their own victims. Back in Stuart's room, he loosens Beth's restraints. She pleads with him to escape together, but when she attempts to input the code to unlock the door, he strikes her and knocks her out. Stuart's demeanor shifts. He reveals his true, deranged personality. Beth resembles his wife, a woman he despises but can't kill due to the law. So now, he intends to take out his hatred on Beth. Just as he's about to begin his sick ritual, members of the club arrive with Whitney's mangled body. Offering her to Stuart, he shows Beth gruesome pictures of Whitney to frighten her before stepping away to murder her. He returns covered in blood. Beth seizes the opportunity, using seduction to manipulate him. She appeals to his emotions, pretending to love him and referencing their earlier connection. As he lets his guard down, she overpowers him, tying him to the very chair she was bound to. Attempting to flee, Beth is intercepted by Sasha and his men. She grabs a weapon and threatens to mutilate Stuart if they don't let her go. She offers a deal, her freedom in exchange for a portion of her inheritance. Stuart tries to outbid her, but Sasha knows the truth. Stuart's broke, and it was Todd who financed their involvement. Realizing this, Sasha accepts Beth's offer. But there's one condition: she must kill Stuart and officially join the elite hunting club. Enraged, Stuart hurls insults at her, prompting Beth to end his life. She then grotesquely cuts off his genitals and feeds them to the dogs, leaving him to bleed out, a sight even the hardened members find disturbing. Satisfied, Sasha brands Beth with the club's symbol, marking her as an official member. In the final scene, Axel is tricked by the street kids into following them into the woods. Once deep inside, it's revealed to be a trap set by Beth. She ambushes Axel and decapitates her in an act of vengeance. As a gruesome souvenir, she gives the children a ball fashioned from Axel's severed head, and they gleefully play with it as Beth walks away. And that's a wrap on today's recap. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a plot twist. Got a movie you want recapped? Drop it in the comments below. This is DX Recaps. See you in the next one.